Friends and neighbors, I'm Mark Thurber, candidate to be your next treasurer for Orion Township. I want to thank Orion Neighborhood TV for this special opportunity to introduce myself and let you know a little bit more about me and what my intentions are for the office of treasurer. First and foremost, I'm a family man married for 11 years with 2 sons, 6 and 7, and a daughter, 3. After several years of evaluating all the surrounding towns looking for a place to raise our family, my wife and I quickly recognized Orion Township had all the best we were looking for. Somewhat unexpected was the overwhelming embrace she, my newborn, and I received after moving in, not only by the neighbors, but by the community at large. We immediately realized we had made the correct choice in locating here and quickly began to appreciate how unique living here is. It is precisely this warm, small-town embrace that has inspired me to become fully involved and offer my skills, best efforts, and devotion to the community. I assure you that prior to moving here, I had no political aspirations. In fact, I've never been involved in politics at all. I am doing this because of the high regard I have for Orion and my desire to preserve what we hold dear. I want my kids to be proud and appreciate where they grew up, and perhaps, a bit selfishly, hope they will also raise their families here too. A snapshot of my personal interests have been classic cars, auto racing, scuba diving, skiing, travel, and volleyball. However, those of you with kids know that interests are quickly sidelined away from our own to supporting t-ball, flag football, and piano lessons for the little ones. My educational background is in the chemical and engineering fields. I am a graduate of Oakland University. At present, I am in the purchasing and finance department at a U.S. automaker. And I must say, I truly feel that having survived the downturn of 2008, the ensuing bankruptcies, and the financial havoc that followed, one could not have asked for a more rigorous proving ground to prepare me for this position. Prior to this, I was in upper management and operation of private companies, focused on research development and international growth. Complete budget responsibility is something I have been doing for my entire professional career. I am a holder of several patents and an author of several published articles. As your elected official, you can be assured that my years of experience, diversity in skills, and considerable business acumen have qualified me to fulfill the duties of this office with distinction. Being treasurer is more than just taking care of bills and getting the best money market interest rate. This position should be one of the leads in management and well-being of our township. I am undaunted by the fiscal responsibilities of the position. It is my interest in special projects and initiatives that sets me apart. My management style differs from the current administration in that I have never been content with standing still and being complacent. Improvement and accomplishment are part of my very nature. Projects and initiatives that I view have great importance to our future include transparency in government. I feel very strongly openness in government is essential, especially at the local level. Though perhaps not the most prominent issue I hope to address when elected, it is a fundamental element to many of the other goals I have for the township. An open demeanor will promote involvement, trust, business development, and community spirit. Since this project touches so many other issues within the township, I consider it on the top of the priority list. Despite being strongly recommended and openly urged by the state governor's office to post our budget and a taxpayer's guide on our website, our current treasurer has done nothing to move this direction, allowing the governor's deadline to come and go last year. When posed the question recently on the ONTV Meet the Candidate Forum, Ms. Young's response is that the information is available in her office. Hardly an acceptable position in this day and age. It goes without saying that society has squarely leaped with both feet into web-based information access a decade ago, and for Orion Township to be playing catch-up at this late date demonstrates those that have been entrusted with the stewardship of such resources have been asleep at the switch. Meanwhile, our neighboring communities have taken the appropriate strides necessary to remain current and consistent with the times. Tax base and budget. Recent comments by the current administration suggest that the current finances and projections are stable and even optimistic. At this singular instant in time, that may be true. However, serious declines and shortcomings are projected for as soon as 2013, declines that will impact all of us. I commend the past actions of my opponent to trim staff and some excesses out of the budget to assist with the eroding tax base. However, my approach is that the best defense is a strong offense. Trimming and cutting are only a small part of the equation. Growth, promotion, and building a strong foundation are far more important. Whichever label you want to put on it, optimizing, fine-tuning, boosting, we need to make the most of our current commercial and industrial districts. I want to see all the existing vacant buildings filled and utilized. Idle space does no one any good and should be put to good use. Having been deeply involved with the affairs of many businesses during the recent recession, it became painfully clear that trimming without a strategy only prolongs the decline and does little to turn the tables. The very hard and downright tragic economic times that touched us all a couple of years ago is still vividly embedded in my memory, as I'm sure it must be in yours. Only slightly more than a year ago, we were awash in foreclosures and commercial property was at a standstill. I am pleasantly surprised at the incredible turnabout the state is having and the resurgence in business we are seeing. Having lived in the area my entire life, I have ridden the automotive economic tide many times and would have never expected such a quick recovery like we are seeing. Unfortunately, it is clear that our current leadership has no long-term plan or initiatives in place to capitalize on this. I am fearful that unless steps are taken soon to tap into this movement, Orion Township will be left behind in the wake as our neighboring communities prosper and surpass us on every front. One prime example of the failing of our current administration is the choice we will be faced with on the police and fire millages on the ballot for August 7th. Had the powers that be been more proactive on building a stronger foundation to our tax base, had a coherent strategy for business development, and had a vision for the big picture, we would not be faced with the choice of paying more or diminished police protection. I am fully supportive of both proposals and cannot urge viewers strongly enough to please vote on August 7th to maintain our security. I can assure you, as Treasurer, I will strive to reduce our budgetary declines, do my utmost to fortify our economic foundation, and avoid any hard choices like this in the future. My message is simple, clear, and unencumbered with impossible promises. I will fight to preserve our unique culture, charm, values, and quality of life. I want to bring you openness in government and the transparency you deserve as a taxpayer. By seeking out and bringing in the brightest and best new businesses to Orion Township, it will offer the best jobs to our residents, spur the growth of our existing businesses, and inspire other newcomers. That will naturally trigger an interest in our home market, drive up prices and home values. Putting our idle and excessive water and sewer fund to work by optimizing our infrastructure. Clear short and long-term strategies that include cooperative ventures with adjacent communities to streamline our services at less expense, to get the most services with the least expenditure, instilling cooperation of Orion businesses with Orion businesses and remind residents to support them whenever possible. Investment strategy that is independently researched and unbiased. What you can expect from me if elected to office is inspired leadership with drive and determination, integrity and solid work ethic, informed and unintimidated execution of my duties. In closing, I cannot stress strongly enough, improvement is impossible without some change. Vote for improvement and the right kind of change. I look forward to your vote on August 7th and urge you to motivate your friends and neighbors to do the same. I welcome your thoughts, comments, questions, and support at my email address, votethurber@yahoo.com, or visit my Facebook page at Mark Thurber, Orion Treasurer. I sincerely thank you for your time and interest today.